think if he's an owner operator that he can run the show. But here's the truth. You still work under my MC. You are owner operator. You are the proud owner of your truck and maybe your trailer. But still, you come to me and you work under my MC. And that's why lots of times when we have two people who try to boss each other around, well, it's not gonna happen because you still work for me. And you just getting compensated differently than the company driver. I might listen to you that you don't want to go here, you're not gonna go here, you're not gonna take this load. I can help you to achieve some of the requests. But just because you're owner operator, you're not spinning me around if you're still working in my company. And this is the biggest problem with retention of owner operators. Because most of the time, why do they leave? Just because they try to boss you around in your own company. And believe it or not, in the beginning, when I came to the trucking, I was so terrified that, oh my God, my owners are gonna leave me. I have to kiss their little butts. And I was doing it for like a year and a half. Every time they call me, I would answer. Even if I had to go and take a shower, I would go step out of the shower just to talk to Iwan, to Mike, to Andre, to Sergey, to Steve, just because I was so afraid. Oh my God, if I don't answer, they're gonna leave me. Every time they were requesting something which did not make sense, I was still trying to do what they want to do. Because I was like, oh my God, I want to grow. I need more owner operators. But then finally, I started going through the numbers and I started getting knowledge in this industry, and things start changing. First, we start increasing trainings. We start telling what we are looking and what is our mission, how we want our company to grow without you dictating me what I have to do and not to do. It was actually a respectful situation, but people did not like it. And they were thinking that every time they're gonna try me, oh, I'm gonna go somewhere else, that I'm gonna start begging them. And you know what? So funny. And they went somewhere else. And then months or two later, people who actually understood that their decision was wrong, they did come back. But it was only 30% of the owner operators. 70%, they did not really succeed because they were making money with me, because I am that freaking responsible workaholic that I would still choose to dispatch you instead of maybe taking care of my kids. That was my mistake as well. But they would never admit it, that I make their own decision. But you know what? When I change my mindset, I start treating them differently. When they would start application process, I would not even start application until I see them in my office, not just over the phone. And sometimes I would tell them, unfortunately, I cannot hire you. And some of them were getting pissed, but I'm the owner operator. I can come and work for you. I don't care. I didn't like your energy. I didn't like your attitude. The things you told me did not make logical sense. And a lot of times, after you talk to a person for half hour, an hour, you understand that we are totally looking at business differently. For me, making that 10, 12% from growth did not make sense anymore. And I did not want to put myself or my team through aggravation. But it took me probably a year and a half, 2 years to finally understand you cannot please everyone, and I need to run my business the way I want to grow, the way I am looking at. And believe it or not, I don't like hostage situations. I don't like fights, because the first year and a half, 2 years, I had to learn how to swear in all the freaking languages. And I am not proud of them, but that was the only way for me sometimes to communicate with a stubborn driver or unreasonable owner operator who would make up shit that did not even make sense, or if they would fight with a dispatcher or the safety manager and they always put me in the middle. Believe it or not, and you guys know that this is the truth, sometimes I had to F-word you and curse you to put you back in your place, and they're like, oh, okay, Alex, I got it, you strong, okay, I understand. But it shouldn't be like this, guys. It shouldn't be like this. And that's why a lot of women who come to trucking as a dispatcher, as safety manager, they actually leave this industry because of that. We should be able to respect each other, right? But this is another story. So, driver retention is a #1 challenge. Second, operational cost, and we know this. Fuel increase, cost for fuel, right? Insurance, even paying more for the drivers. Well, it all affects your operational cost. So when operational cost goes up, but the market goes down, what happened? Well, we are in survival mode, right? So some of you barely making, and hopefully you at least at zero. Hopefully you're not losing money. But most of you right now, people who got into the business in the last year and a half, and you did not really know how to operate, you are actually running in minus unless you still driving your own truck. Because in this case, you're still making that 38% of what? Operational cost as a driver. Okay, so the operation cost is #1 challenge. Increasing competition. Well, yeah, increasing competition between whom? Between our desperate dispatchers and brand new owners who have no clue how to run this business, right? Loads get posted, people happy that somebody answer, they just book in because they're afraid they're gonna be without the load. So that's why it's not really healthy competition. It's actually competition that kills trucking. And we need to educate people. We need to make sure that carriers get education on how to run this, how to increase the driver retention, what is operational cost. So lots of education has to be done on all the levels in trucking, right? That's why I'm telling you, Dispatch Training Center was created because I do believe that knowledge is a key to succeed in any industry. Okay, second thing, which brings a lot of challenges to trucking, is our regulatory compliance from USDOT on state level, FMCSA, right? Federal Motor Carrier Administration. So lots of rules, lots of regulations, lots of fines. And do they actually make sense? Some of them not, but whatever it is, this is already some rules and regulation that you agree you're gonna follow when you apply for that MC. Actually, we started our safety and compliance class yesterday, and it's so funny that I have students which have been in trucking for 7 years, for 13 years, for 15 years, and they thought that they understand how safety compliance work. And after the first class, we've been like, oh my God, I did not even know that this is important. Really? I have to do this? I have to maintain this records? I have to actually give the trainings to the drivers. And guys, we're talking about people who've been in business, not for 6 months, a year. So please, it's never too late to improve your safety and compliance. It's never too late to learn before you decide to go to this industry. It's never too late to add extra service. So let's say you are a dispatcher, add that knowledge so you can help small carriers. So one day they do not wake up and they have inactive MC just because they did not renew biannual report for MCS 150, or they use BOC 3 companies that went out of business, or maybe they did not know that clearinghouse is mandatory and the fine is approximately $5,400 per one violation, that you need to keep records for your IFTA for 4 years, for your IRP for 6 years. So